All right, so today we're gonna be comparing the 2012, right? 2012, a 2012 Lexus IS250 all-wheel drive with 17-inch rims. I don't know what tires it has. Ultimax all seasons.
RT43 all seasons.
Yeah, no mods. It's completely stock. Then we got the 2010 Mercedes-Benz C300 4MATIC, completely stock. The 18-inch instead of the 17-inch AMG rims with some Continental Conti Sport 4s all seasons. So I think we're just going to start out right away with the Lexus here, and we're just going to go flat out with traction control on.
And then do we need to run this twice because I have two modes?
Yeah, and he's got two modes, so he has normal and snow.
Yeah.
We're gonna actually, you know what? Let's make it a fair comparison. You would never drive this car not in snow mode. So in the snow. So
okay.
just leave it in snow, and we'll just
Traction control on, right?
Traction control on. Yep.
To the floor?
All the way to the floor. Okay. So that's pretty good. You saw there was some slip in the front wheel right at the beginning, and after that initial tire spin, it kind of kicks in to the rear. It is a rear wheel drive bias system. You can kind of see where the rear tires were here and here. Good. Okay, so now we're gonna do it without traction control.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, realistically, you would drive with traction control on for safety reasons if you go into a slide. Now what we're gonna do is, instead of going flat out, you want traction control on, but I want you to accelerate normally.
Okay.
So don't go into kickdown or anything like that. So let's see what it'd be like if you're at a stop sign and you're just trying to get moving. And there you go. Nothing, no spin, all grip. So yeah, it's a fantastic all-wheel drive system. And we're gonna be testing the Mercedes next here. All right, so we're gonna do the Mercedes now. Same thing, so the first trial is gonna be the most normal mode, but we're gonna do a kick down, so all the way to the floor, and see what happens. So let's see. Okay, so a lot of slip there right at the beginning of the kick down. Next we're gonna do no traction control, right? So we're turning off traction control here. You can see traction control is off. All right, in the normal mode, so comfort. So no traction control, it is pretty much no grip at all. It just spins all the tires if you do a kick down, which, expected, but Lexus does better in that aspect, where if you do it a kick down with no traction control, which you got the snow mode on, it will still grip afterwards. This one will just let it come all the way to the red line, and you'll just be gliding. If you were at a stop sign, we're gonna see how it would accelerate normally. So I'm just gonna do normal acceleration here. So I didn't feel any slipping. Did you see anything?
I didn't see any slipping.
Okay, so same as the Lexus, no slipping. All-wheel drive can just get you better grip when you're moving, but the tires really make the difference. I would say our tires are pretty similar in grip strength, so
these are probably a little bit better. We have a little bit of a higher end tire.
All right, so changing things up here, we are out. We're gonna be going up a hill here, pretty steep hill over this way. We're in comfort mode here, traction control on. There's about 3 inches of snow on the ground, I'd estimate here, 3 to 4. I want to get the defroster on real quick. Okay. So actually just gonna do defroster manually here. Okay, so we're gonna go clean up this hill. If you guys can see that. Pretty steep, 15 to 20 degrees of angle here. So we're going up normally. I'm keeping the revs around 2K. It's handling it pretty well, no slip at the moment. We're gonna be coming in through a corner here, so we may have some understeer. Yeah, just a tiny bit. But right now, this is about 30 degrees of incline right here, and we are not slipping. And that's looking pretty good. I didn't feel any slip there actually, at all. You know, I think it performs better in deep snow situations, just because there's more friction. So now on the way down is kind of the most dangerous part here. So just to put that into perspective, right now my hand's flat, so this is coming in about 10-degree incline, 19 miles per hour. I'm gonna start braking here. So right here is kind of dangerous where we come into this corner. So this is really where stability control can help you quite a bit, is not understeering. We are sliding right now a little bit. ABS is kicking on, but the car is gripping. All right, so there you go. And that was, we came in a little narrow there. We could have done that a little wider. But yeah, so all around, you know, in real world situations like that, you don't feel that much, as long as you're not pushing the car too hard, you know, not trying to go too fast. It's pretty straightforward. There isn't any really issues with grip or anything like that, so I think that was a pretty good real world situation. That's about as bad as it gets for most people. So yeah, they're gonna try the Lexus now, so let's just move to that car. Okay, so we are in the Lexus now, and snow on. All right, so traction control snow, and we're just gonna go for it here. So we're off to a good start here. Idle's a little bit faster than mine. Okay, here, so here we go. So we're just doing the same thing, trying to keep it at 2,000 RPM. So I'd give that, like, that's probably around 20% throttle position for me. It's the same on both cars. Personal opinion, right now, just from the feel, this one is a little more vague. I'm not like, I couldn't tell. I don't feel like I know how the wheels are spinning or touching the ground. Other than that, though, you know, same performance. We just went clean up, no issues there. We're gonna turn around up here. So overall, real world application, completely fine. It's a little more vague. I will say that this car has more like road communication when it's dry, but in the snow, I would say that the Mercedes has more road communication in the snow.
I have driven both, and I can attest to that.
Yeah, it's can't feel how the tires are touching the ground, if that makes any sense. So I'm not sure what speed I should be going to get through here. Although we did already plow this out, so we should be okay. A little bit of an ABS there. Same thing. Okay, so this car seems to want to drive a little faster in first gear than the Mercedes does, which is a little interesting. Okay. Overall, it feels about the same. A little more vague on where the wheels are and how they're gripping, but I would say that they're very similar real world application of your all-wheel drive system. Either one's going to do you good. So there you go. That's going up and down that hill there. So I guess conclusions then, they're pretty similar. The Mercedes is a little more squirrely without traction control on because it doesn't have a dedicated snow mode. Whereas the Lexus can switch between like performance, all-wheel drive, normal, and snow, which it just changes the bias a little bit and how much the wheels can spin. you know, ground clearance is a big thing on these cars too.
Yours is way lower.
This car is not all that much higher than mine, but it's high enough that you don't get into that many issues with it. You know, you're not going to get stuck on big drifts of snow and that kind of thing if you're not moving. Whereas that has happened to me a couple times in the Mercedes, where you're low enough to the ground that you can get up on a snow drift or something like that, and you'll be totally stuck. None of the wheels will be touching the ground, which happened to us last year. We were able to get out by turning the wheels around, but you know, that can be really dangerous. So you notice here, the front of the car is actually a little lower than the rear, but it's quite a bit lower than that Lexus is. And the underside is all cladded. I think it's the same with the Lexus, but it kind of acts like if you imagine a surfboard on water. Once you get up on the snow, you're just out of control. It's really dangerous. So you have to make sure that you don't stop when you're on top of large amounts of snow to keep that from happening. Conclusions then, they're very similar. You're good with both. Lexus all-wheel drive systems, Mercedes all-wheel drive systems, they're very similar. All right then, well that's it. We'll see you guys in the next video.